I'm sorry for that oversight. I just realized it. Okay, so do you,
If I may, Your Honor, if that's what the court would like, I would request a small recess to allow us the opportunity to get the court that information, and hopefully through an outside independent witness, is to not risk that.
yeah.
And Judge, if the state may respond to that, if you're allowed.
Say that again?
May the state respond?
Yes.
Yes, Judge, I would object to any reset of this matter. This has been set. We have known about this setting. Defense made it very clear in his argument that he spoke with Angelini about this issue in this case, and I would ask that the court rule on the speedy trial motion at this time. I think that there has been adequate time for defense to be prepared for this motion that he filed and set himself. So the state would request that you rule on the motion.
All right. Well, this is about constitutional protections, and those are very important. So I don't want to make a ruling based on on either side not being prepared, because basically these hearings, it's a very delicate balance between the individual constitutional rights and the many other factors that really don't have a lot to do with the prosecutor's performance. It's just, from my experience, and then I understand this pandemic has made things just not normal, but constitutional protections, in my opinion, are very, very important. And I don't want to deprive anyone of those if the petitioner or the defendant needs more time to present a more well-founded case. I'm not going to grant a motion to dismiss for lack of speedy trial based on the fact that the blood results were not provided by the state in a more timely manner, because that doesn't really tell me a whole lot about how it has affected the defendant, quite frankly. So, and this is really about personal consequences as a result of neglect by the state. I mean, I have not heard anything about, how the state has been neglectful. So I just think that maybe I will just recess this. I would like to give Mr. Ramos another opportunity to bring me some evidence of how this has affected Mr. Rodriguez's constitutional protections, because I think it's very important. When we protect anybody's constitutional protections, we're protecting our own. So it's not something I want to take lightly. And maybe other judges would have a different feeling, but that's the way I feel. I mean, I think that's the court's role, is to make sure that people get their constitutional protections. And that means everybody. That means the community. That means, the accused. That means collateral, parties. So I'm not placing anybody's constitutional rights over anybody else's. I just would like to have a well-rounded hearing, so that and it's not personal. It's not. I'm not even sure how involved this current prosecution's been in this. There's just so much anybody can do. There's other factors that come into this kind of hearing. So I don't believe that it would be fair to anybody to proceed based on what I've heard so far. So,
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, I grant some, I deny some, and it's based on, the evidence basically that I received. So I'm going to, I'm thinking today is Wednesday. We could do this next Wednesday. Would that work out for the state? Would you all have a problem? I know you all stay very busy. I'm fully aware of that. So I want to give you some input about that.
Your Honor, the state is always going to be here. So whenever you would like to set it, I think that the proper response is if defense's schedule allows them to be here, the state will be here regardless. So whatever Mr. Ramos can do, the state can do.
Right. Well, and I just want to make the comment. I know everybody's staying very busy. We're all trying to get caught up because of this terrible pandemic we've all suffered. So, all right. So then I'm going to put this off till next Wednesday. And I will probably limit the hearing to an hour and a half. So I want you to all be very fully prepared and have, your evidence so that the court can properly consider both sides.
And
Okay.
if I may, Your Honor, along with that, since I know the state was arguing that this was bifurcated, if I may suggest, I can file a separate motion regarding just the discovery issue, if the state's not opposed to just hearing both those issues, because I do believe they go hand in hand with each other.
Yeah,
in this
I do.
situation.
I do believe that they're all involved in this motion. I don't think we need to bifurcate it. And again, it's not an attack on the prosecution.
Correct.
And I mean, from my experience, these prosecutors have been very, very proficient and very prepared in all ways. And so it's not about them. It's about perhaps the system, and overall. So it's complicated because it's not just involving these prosecutors. It's many parties involved. So, and it's not about casting blame either. It's about making sure that all our constitutional protections are respected and preserved. So that's really where I'm coming from. So we're going to reset this for Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, and I will give it preference at 1:30. We'll probably put off our pleas till 3 on that day. So Alita, please make a note of that, because I would like to have this be a nice, efficient, fast process. And so that's it. We're in recess on this until Wednesday, and I don't even know what day that is. That would be, is that going to be the 15th? Let's see if I can find that.
March 16 at 3 o'clock.
Uh,
Or, I'm sorry, 3 o'clock would be the police.
Right. We're going to do this at 1:30, and I'm trying to figure out the day. What is that? Is that the 15th?
16th, Your Honor.
16th. Great. Okay. We'll reset it to March 16 at 1:30.
Yes,
And
Your Honor.
I would like to make it just to the point and effective and so forth. So you all are good lawyers. You all will take care of that, I know. Thank you all.
Thank
We're
you.
in
Your Honor,
recess.
thank you.
May my
Thank you.
client and myself be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. You're excused. Have a good afternoon. Take care.
You too, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, you're ready to go on Mr. Salazar's plea?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe it was received.
Yes, Judge, that paperwork should be with you. I did receive a notification that the defendant did sign.
And again, I'm just really having a hard time hearing. My audio is coming out of my laptop, but it's very muted. So the defendant is present, right?
Yes, he is, Your
Silverio
Honor.
Martinez is the attorney, Pablo Salazar. Let me see if I can find the, I know it was on my desk. I have the file on my desk, but I do not remember if I have the plea paperwork. Let me find that right now. All right, so Mr. Salazar, I'm going to ask you please to unmute yourself, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell, right hand, sir? Yes. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. You may lower your hand now. This is cause number 658-937, the state of Texas versus Pablo Salazar. And is this only one case or is it two?
Your Honor, this is just one case. The state will submit dismissals at the end for TIC.
Okay. All right. So again, this is 658-937, the state of Texas versus Pablo Salazar. And I need announcements from both sides, please.
Karina Sanchez for the state.
Silverio Martinez for the defendant, Your Honor.
All right. So are you Pablo Salazar?
I'm sorry?
Are you Pablo Salazar?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen, sir?
Yes.
You've been charged with the offense of possession of gambling paraphernalia or device. Alita, can you share that document on the screen?
I think since you just signed it, it hasn't come to me yet if I was CC on it.
I
Okay.
got it, Judge. I'm sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
We're
you.
good.
Okay, so Mr. Salazar, you see on the screen that we are going to look at a document entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights. And
Yes.
you reviewed this with your attorney, correct?
Yes.
All right, so you see that you are charged with the offense of possession of gambling paraphernalia device. That's listed as a Class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment for that is up to 1 year in Bexar County Jail and or a fine up to $4,000. You understand that, sir?
Yes, I understand.
All right. So we're going to go to page 2 where it shows defendant's signature. Did you sign that, sir?
Yes.
Do you understand that by signing that document, you're waiving your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, as well as all those other rights listed on that document?
Yes.
All right. If you have an agreement with a state and I follow it, but then later on tonight or tomorrow, you decide that, that was a mistake, I want to take back my plea, you would need my permission to be able to take back your plea, but I do not have to give that permission. Do you understand that, sir?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. If I assess a harsher punishment than what you have agreed to, you can take back your plea and nothing you've said or signed for today's hearing can be used against you. Also, if you plead no contest to this charge, I still can find you guilty of this charge. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Mr. Martinez, have you had an opportunity to discuss the charge with Mr. Salazar?
I have, Your Honor.
In your opinion, does Mr. Salazar have a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charge?
Yes, he does.
Has he been able to assist you in his defense?
Yes, he has.
I will approve the waiver. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is a $1,000 fine with court costs. The state has agreed to probate $500 of that fine. 12 months deferred adjudication. Gambling Anonymous. MRT, which is the moral recognition therapy.
Okay.
50 hours of community service.
And that's 50?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
An agreed forfeiture agreement, which has been signed by both defense, defendant, and the state.
Okay.
And in exchange for this plea, Your Honor, the state has agreed to TIC cause numbers 658938 and 658936.
Okay. So is that your understanding of the agreement, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right. So Mr. Salazar, to the offense of possessing gambling paraphernalia device as a Class A misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir?
No.
Yes, sir. You did put on your waiver, no contest. Is that what you want to plead?
Yes.
All right. Is anybody forcing you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, my honor.
I will accept your plea, sir. I'm going to assess a $1,000 fine plus court costs. However, $500 of that fine is probated. I'll place you on deferred adjudication for a period of 12 months. You are to complete a Gambling Anonymous course, the MRT course, do 50 hours community service, and you have agreed to a forfeiture agreement signed by both the state and defense. And as part of this agreement, taken into consideration is cause number 658938 and 658936. Is there anything further from, one more thing. How old are you, Mr. Salazar?
26.
So I'm going to give you 24 hours community service credit if you are or become fully vaccinated for COVID. Okay.
Oh, I'm not vaccinated.
All right. So, well, that's just an option. You can take it or you can leave it, but it
Oh,
will
okay.
help you if you want to complete your community service requirement of 50 hours a lot sooner, okay? So that's for you to decide. That's for you to decide, okay?
Okay.
All right,
Your
so
Honor.
yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. It was.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
We do have a forfeiture agreement. However, his personal belongings, which I don't think are part of the forfeiture agreement. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Sanchez, but my understanding is he's gonna get his personal belongings back. I believe he had a phone and like an ID or a driver's, or a wallet. I don't believe those were forfeited or gonna be forfeited, are they?
No, the forfeiture agreement does not include those items. So his personal effects will and should be returned to him.
Okay.
All right, well, that's good to have clarification. All right, thank you. Anything further, Mr. Martinez?
No, Your Honor, nothing else.
All right, anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, so, Mr. Salazar, I have followed your agreement, sir. That means you do not have a right to appeal. I want to wish you the best of luck. You did fill out a personal data sheet where you put all your information. Do you swear that everything on there is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Miss Honor.
I'm sorry, sir?
Yes, Mr. Honor.
Okay. All right. So at this time, we're going to terminate or adjourn this hearing. I'm going to ask you to meet with Mr. Corey Richardson, our CLO. He's going to give you important information on what to expect from this probation and how to proceed, okay? I do want to make very clear to you, sir, that the court expects you to comply 100% with all the terms and conditions of your probation. Because if the state files a motion and I find sufficient reason to follow it, I can give you that conviction. I can revoke your community supervision, assess up to 1 year in Bexar County Jail, and you would have a very limited right of appeal. So the downside is very significant, right?
Yes.
And you are young, sir. You deserve to have a good future. So I hope that you will take this very seriously. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be time consuming. But if you make up your mind that you're going to successfully complete it, you will be very happy in the future, okay?
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Oh, thank you, sir. At this time, you're going to get on your screen a prompt that says join breakout room, whatever that number is. Click on that and you will be meeting with Mr. Richardson. And then from there you can leave. Mr. Martinez, do you want to accompany your client or do you?
I don't need to, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Martinez. You take care, Mr. Salazar, okay? Be careful and be good.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, there's Mr. Sampson. Mr. Sampson, can you unmute yourself, sir, please, and turn on your audio, video? Okay. All right, let's do this. Will you please unmute yourself, Mr. Sampson? Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you may lower your hand.
The other one is probably somewhere on there. Yeah.
Okay, so this is cause number 649796, the state of Texas versus Christian Jamal Sampson. Counselors, please make your announcement.
Jeff King on behalf of the state.
Stephen Harkowitz for Mr. Sampson.
So are you Christian Jamal Sampson?
I am.
Are you a U.S. citizen, sir?
I am.
You are going to see on the screen a document entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights. And you will remember having seen this, reviewed it with your attorney. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so you see, it says that you are charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated as a first offense, as a Class B misdemeanor. You see that the range of punishment for that type of offense is a minimum of 72 hours, up to 180 days in Bexar County Jail, and or a fine up to $2,000. You see that, sir? We're going to go to page 2 where it shows defendant's signature. Did you sign that, sir?
I did.
Do you understand that by signing that document, you are waiving your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, as well as other rights listed in that document?
Yes.
If you have an agreement with the state and I follow it, but then later on tonight or tomorrow you think, oh my God, I made a mistake, I want to take back my plea, you could only do that with my permission, but I do not have to give that permission. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
If I assess a harsher punishment than what you have agreed to, then you can take your plea back and nothing you've said or signed for today's hearing can be used against you. Also, you need to know that if you plead no contest to this charge, I can still find you guilty of this charge. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harkowitz, have you had an opportunity to discuss the charge with Mr. Sampson?
I have, Your Honor.
In your opinion, does he have a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charge?
He does, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in his defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will approve the waiver. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, Judge, before we proceed, just so the record is clear, Mr. Sampson was charged DWI over 0.15, but I understand the state is agreed to waive that enhancement. So we're going to proceed as the Class B.
Okay. Mr. King, is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. We are going to waive the enhancement and proceed DWI first as a B. Yeah. And then we're asking for 180 days in Bexar County Jail, probated over 12 months, a $600 fine plus court cost, 48 hours for 8 hours of community service, DWI education, victim impact panel, an ATP evaluation, ignition interlock for 1/2 the term, the DOEP class, a $50 Crime Stopper fee, and we are taking into consideration case number 2021 CR 10607.
1067. Okay. So, Mr.
Nope.
Harkowitz.
I'm sorry, it's 10607.
Oh, more numbers. 10607. Thank you.
You're correct, Your Honor. Sorry.
Okay. So, Mr. Harkowitz, is that your understanding of the agreement?
That is the agreement, Your Honor. Just one thing I'd add is with regards to the victim impact panel, Mr. Sampson has completed that, and I've provided Mr. King with a certificate, I guess last week or so, as proof that it was completed. And I'd ask if Mr. Sampson provide that to probation as well, that he be given credit for having completed that class already.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Otherwise, that's the agreement, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Sampson, to the offense of driving while intoxicated as a first offense, as a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir? Okay, so on your waiver, you put no contest. Is that still what you want to plead, Mr. Sampson?
Sorry. Like it like cut out. I'm sorry. Like
Okay.
I heard my name and then it like cut out after that. I was trying to listen in.
Yeah, we're having problems with audio. So to the offense of driving while intoxicated as a first offense, as a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir? You have indicated on your document that you want to plead no contest. Are you still wanting to plead that?
No contest.
All right. Is anybody forcing you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
I will accept your plea. I am going to sentence you to 180 days Bexar County Jail. However, that is probated for 12 months. You are to pay a $600 fine plus court costs and complete 48 hours community service, the DWI education course, the victim impact panel, which you will get credit since you have already completed that. You shall also do the ATP evaluation and install on your vehicle ignition interlock for 1/2 your term of probation, complete the DOEP class, pay $50 Crime Stoppers fee. As part of this agreement, taken into consideration is cause number 2021CR10607. Furthermore, I'm going to give you an option that you do not have to follow. It's purely optional. I will give you 24 hours community service credit if you are or become fully vaccinated for COVID. You don't have to tell me whether you want to do it or not, but if you decide that you are or you want to do so, you just need to show proof to the probation department and you will get that 24 hours off of your 48 hours, okay? All right, at this time, is there anything further from defense?
No, Your Honor.
State?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Sampson, I have followed your agreement, sir. That means you do not have a right to appeal. I want to wish you the best of luck. And at this time, I just need to ask you, you filled out a personal data sheet. Do you swear that everything on that personal data sheet is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
All right. It is a very important document because you want to always be able to get information from the probation department. I also
Understood.
want to stress that the probation department is there to help you. And so do not hesitate to ask for help or any questions you may have. At this time, I'm going to terminate or adjourn this hearing. And I'm going to ask you to click on an invite on your screen that says join breakout room, whatever that is. If you click on that, you will be meeting with Mr. Corey Richardson, our CLO. He's going to give you important information on what to expect and how to proceed. Okay?
Got it.
All right. You got a good future ahead of you. Hope everything works out. Okay?
Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you, sir. All right. At this time, I believe we are done. I don't think we have anything else pending, right? Thank you, Mr. Harkowitz. You have a great
Thank you, Judge.
afternoon.
And that is all the state has. May the state be excused as well, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you all for your hard work. I do totally
very welcome.
appreciate it. Y'all take care.
You
Ms.
too.
Sanchez and Mr. King.
You have a good evening.
Take
And
care.
thank Judge, and thank you, Jeff. And you'll see that felony gets dismissed.
Yes, I'll reach out to felony. I might go ahead and fill it out for them, but I'll see what they want me to do. But I'll take care of it.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. I think we're done, everybody. Let's move on to something else. Take
Judge,
care.
if
Thank
you
you.
can be off YouTube and then I'll have to